Map 1, I think Heretics were completely caught off guard by just the sheer pace at which Shakalaka were able to operate, and I think Ballista plays into a lot of those kind of trends as well, Lauren. So again, actually underway with the pistol round here. The Ballista actually, and again, this is no surprise, moving as 5. They're ready to explode into hooker here.
Lovely work from Lol though. Quick little wall goes up, but again, it's unrelenting aggression. They will not fall back from this. I just hopefully get some game sounds going for you guys. Nice and loud. There we go. Got that going. Nuki's got an information, little fact-finding mission, and I like this. They're going to try and kind of corner in the attacking side, which will be, of course, Ballista, and Heretics will be on the defensive side. Now, the thing is, this is a really kind of classic play. You take space. Now, let's say you get a little bit of, kickback from the opposition. Hold. See if you can find anyone getting a little over-aggressive. So if they manage to catch Nuki, it's valuable, but the timing could be atrocious. Look at this. Nuki might have just threaded the needle so perfectly here, and he has. They have no idea that he is going to have the perfect positioning on this, and they know everything that's coming their way. Lau's going to die? They had every bit of info on that, and somehow it's gone terribly wrong.
Spike down, B.
Spike will fall, but right now, Heretics actually, the 2 members, Ballista's still 3 strong, and they've got a little bit of control. Actually, Rabino trying to backpedal all the way back towards spawn. Actually, Spike making his way all the way back over towards A site. 20 seconds
Great read.
left on the clock here. Yeah, and Avova seems to have a decent idea.
Really good read from Avova. He's given himself a chance, and it's a slender one at the very most. However, going to take a quick lamps position. The molly a little further ahead. He's got one. The second evades, but look. Welcome to playing Ballista. They are fast, they are explosive, they are pacey, they are hard to deal with. And honestly, with Lol's positioning being what it was, I thought they would have instantly such an advantage in that round.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Nuki literally, you even pointed out the timing there, Morphin coming all the way back over to Fountain. Nuki actually comes across and tries to challenge into hooker. But I mean, right there, all that pressure, and they still don't give up the spike. The spike makes its way back over towards A. Take no risks whatsoever. They don't want to force the issue onto B site here. They're going to try and pass themselves off. And this is a typical look. We saw this in the Shakalaka series. I know we talked about this before as well. Pora, notice how he's going to play Anki. He's got a deep cam. He's actually going to rotate back over towards stacking A.
And the check marks for this will be the cleanness of this round. It should go Ballista's way. They have every advantage in this. A couple of flashes committed just to secure that plant, and a nice little spam through the smoke just as that wall crumbles. So this is extremely well considered thus far. Lol does well though to find one. And that's another little tick in the box for Heretics. Okay, bit of damage being done. Can we now pressure this? Can we get some more guns away? Can we do some work? That's the next thing you got to keep your eyes on here. For now, you can see the spike being toyed with. Now that might get towards halfway. They're sitting this one, and the diffuser does go down. Trades are there. Heretics have made this costly, though.
Comes down to a 2v1. Nuki, he has the master to deal with. Going to try and grab a Spectre. But again, it's economy damage at this point. Unless he can find this last kill. Actually, it's just going to tick down to the last possible opportunity for him to get that defuse. Reme will actually close it out. So, again, 4 deaths on the side of Ballista. Heretics absolutely doing damage there. We'll see what the purchase coming back in will look like.
Yeah, and I think the point we're discussing when it comes up with the likes of what Shakalaka were doing, they're a Polish team. They play to that Polish style we've been seeing become very commonplace and very effective against a lot of teams. And you saw Heretics being pushed in a manner that most of us didn't expect. So it definitely stood out to us, and Nisa was their leveraging factor. He was able to put up so many numbers for them, just a huge performance that just counterbalanced it. And I don't have much time to make a point because these guys play fast and they are quick to the... Look at this! Pure aggression, pure confidence in Bad EG. That name just seems so right with him. Pushing forward to the ult, gets the information, should allow for the spike plant. This is gorgeous work from Ballista. This is Phoenix in fine form, and I'm happy to be seeing it in Europe.
Take flight.
Finally seeing it in Europe, Lauren. There's now Ballista adds 5. Will reset back. Try and hold on to this in the post plant, but Heretics still 4 strong. Again, that clock is ticking right now. Yuki going to try and tap the defuse. That's going to be... How did he get that kill? Lowell and Poor actually going to trade back up. They're going to invest the res as well.
Ballista are madly aggressive. They are fighting the post plant. Something that was brought up before that I'll touch on is Karemi is still trying to isolate the fights. He loses them eventually. Down he goes. Defuse should be well timed. But again, if you watch Plat Chat, I know a lot of the people out there do. Shout out to Sideshow and all the gang. They put some brilliant content out there. Something that was very, very obvious with Ballista, they're hyper-aggressive even in post-plants. Hyper-aggressive even in post-plant scenarios where traditionally you might sit in more of a passive crossfire. No, these guys will take fights. They will force so many scenarios upon you, and you just saw it there. Even they had so many players, they didn't play a traditional post-plant. They pushed in towards it. They played through the wall. I'm scared to deal with this. Now, of course, it does cost them the round here. So you finally have Heretics answering back a very competent retake for themselves, not allowing that destructive playstyle to push them off. But now Sheriffs, a couple of bits and pieces, nothing too much to worry about technically.
Problem though with, let's see, stack up. This time around, ooh, Lowell does actually catch a headshot there from long. He's got to be careful. We'll pop the heal, but it's only going to get him back about half HP, and QXV comes through and will find that kill. We convert it. BALLISTA upgrades. QXV finds the second. Nuki falls. This is just pistols here.
Ow! How have they been able to isolate so many fights? Great utility usage, extremely explosive with those flashes coming out from Phoenix. Spike now planted, the site is theirs. They can just create these corners. They leave Rubino unchecked. Now he will find Kareme and now instantly look towards long, but there's plenty of problems on the site. Batty G being one of them. Still a flash to play with, Wall as well. He's got options if he needs and knows there's one there. He doesn't go to the flash, he knows Omen's around, but now vision removed, swung on, trade comes out. Great work from Avova. Not gonna let that one slip. Now this post plant. They've got a Sheriff still in, and they actually let contact being taken by the rifle, leaving Rubino left in the 1v1, and the sound. He knows he's done enough to force him off. That is so well done. He didn't instantly peek with it. No, he knows that audio cue is enough to force Rubino in a bad scenario. That's not halfway, Rubino. You know this round is all but done for. You might get the kill, though. Bullets! Oh, my God. Ballista is sick to watch. These guys already are some of my favorite team. They play such a dirty style, but it's so good.
Actually, QXV, you can see it perfectly set up there. Bold, he takes first contact, even though he falls, but that entire time, QXV holds onto the showstopper. It's not their first card to show. Waits until he can actually play time on this. And again, we know how often showstoppers get used as a zoning ultimate, right? You hear that sound cue, and you do exactly what Rubino did in that situation. You back away, you hide. And right there in the post plant, that just all plays into QXV's favor. I love that.
I'm so excited by this team. It's been a while since I've got to enjoy, you know, the Polish show in FPS games. Look, if you're old enough, you remember, you know, the golden Counter-Strike team many, many years ago. A little bit earlier, Virtus Pro, you know, you keep going through this. These guys set the tone, but we were waiting for that next generation. Apparently, they've come into Valorant and they look super, super diligent. This should be an easy round, so should have been the last one, but this should be a comfortable one for Ballista. There should be a planner, not too many problems. They've got Sheriffs and Ghosts on the other side. Again, damage done would be pretty good. That'd be all you're looking for, but a little gap in this one. Be able to spot out that spike there. And Heretics now just going to be looking to do some damage maybe on the playback through, see if they can get everyone to the right place through CT. There we go, off the back of that. Clearing the corner with the ult, finds nothing. Big investment, but Nuki's going to at least find the kill on the force on the swing. So far, not bad from Nuki. Good damage being done.
And the second here, actually, Ballista going to give this up. The flash comes through. Bold swings, doesn't see anything though. He's got the second one set up, and Karemi will find Avova here. A fantastic second flash. Morphin going to convert the first and the second. Heretics will fall after a decent opening to that retake, to be honest. Nuki misses the showstopper kill, but finds two with the Sheriff in quick succession. Again, Ballista holds strong, and that time around, I know we just talked about it, but a much more passive, a much deeper hold on the post plant there from Ballista.
And I like that, even if it's just a response to just purely seeing Sheriffs coming out and pistols.
Well, play distance. Play distance, right, versus the pistol.
Exactly. It's a really good kind of approach. And there's something about watching a team that has the balance of structure with the explosive element of their playstyle. I love this so far, and I'm always happy to see new teams. Now, they were almost, not necessarily mindlessly, but consistently trying to fight for that showers control in some of their previous series, at least for Ballista when I've watched them back. That was high on the priority list. So I want to see if they go to it again, and bear in mind, these guys show no fear with how they go for this. They back themselves. They will always feel like they are the winners in this, and I love that mentality. Hard to keep up when you start losing, but for now that is not a problem. And a different look this time. Keep in mind, they've conditioned these hyper-fast hits, and you can see the defensive team getting a little curious here. You can see Razor's already pushed up over towards A. You have Cypher not too far behind, and this could be another bit of conditioning that they're looking for, is to try and catch them in no man's land, but let's see how it goes. Flashes come through, the initial from the Phoenix, the deeper from the Sky, but Nuki's found two. That's great play from Nuki. Now, this response from him is perfect. Now, last time we said Nisao had to be a big player. This time Nuki is well and truly up for a lull. Holds the more passive angle, but the perfect one to catch that sight cross as Batty G goes down. Nothing more to be done there for him. Heretics well prepared to catch that.
But again, I think that's what the Heretics needs to do, right? They allowed the first half of their series against Shakalaka on Ascent, kind of really Shakalaka to dictate that pace. And I think right now, especially here on Bind, they need to put the stops on Ballista. They need to get some early territory control, which we know Laul is kind of famed for, right? Yeah. On that Sage. Again, we see the first example of it here, throwing that showers down, the wall down deep in showers, getting that early control, just putting a stop on that first 20 to 25 seconds of Ballista being able to close the distance towards site.
This time, new look. They haven't given away Omen's position just yet, but he's maybe feeling enough of the pressure to peel away. Initial utility used towards long, so the response comes in from Rubino. Sees one, but not too much more, and it's going to at least draw some utility out. I want to see now how Ballista respond to this. I don't know much about this team. They are still new to us, right? Like, these guys are still very new to, at least my eyes. And again, Lothar brought up a great topic. The Heretics aren't going to be able to do so much homework. It's going to be hard to find tape on these boys, and especially with such an explosive style. Their tells, you might say, okay, here comes the hit, but I mean, they're already in your face. Very hard to prepare for. However, that solo anchor that you highlighted earlier of Lowell might be having some trouble coming his way.
That's it, Poor already preemptively rotated here. They're going to give it up for retake initially because it was just Lowell here, so... Oh, actually, no. The Hunter's Fury are going to get invested here to stop the plant. Clock ticking away, though. 30 seconds here. Batty's actually going to find Pora. That's a huge kill before the spike even goes down. Put them in a 4v5.
No 30 seconds left.
So keep your eyes on how aggressive Ballista still stand. This 3-play crossfire set towards kind of lamps here is still pretty aggressively leaning. Maybe contact on towards Batty G and then the swing from the Raze. Let's see how it goes down. That looks as though that's the case. No threat found there. And there are 3 quick kills in succession. And once again, Ballista look very comfortable here. Rubino and Nuki. Nuki's been wonderful in these scenarios. They need Rubino to get a couple here as well. Flash forces him away for a second. Second to follow. And now Batty G going to take the first fight. And look at that man. Sharp as hell. That is a brilliant side take. A well-considered post-plant. And no chance for Heretics. Again, they found that solo anchor. And lol, we've credited him highly for that play that he pulls off, being able to, you know, keep control well of these sides, feel out, okay, when's a fight I can take, when do I need to back away? This time, he did have to back to that retake. There was no chance for him to make much more of an impression, and I'm loving this Phoenix Sky combo. It's so hard to deal with.
I just want to highlight something. The scoreline is 5-2, and Batty G's on his 3rd ultimate. He just got it online once again. He's at 12-6 right now, but... It's actually, I know Lothar talked about this a lot. Their playstyle leans into getting ultimates up and online just consistently. And this is a perfect example of it once again.
Omen. They didn't check on him last time. They do. They give it a glance, but not perfect. But I love it again. They're so aware. Okay, Phoenix, you're going to face towards that garden regardless. I will check towards the TP. They have the protocols in place, and they're expecting aggression. They're expecting a flank, but you don't expect a shot like that from Nuki. Sublime aim comes out. Res comes in. So no harm, no foul technically. But that's going to at least kind of create a little bit of an issue. But they have the Seekers to lean on. They have everything they still need to go through this. They hit the brakes. Let's see what they do now.
Batty G perfectly positioned to follow up on first Seeker that actually goes towards spawn, and yes, they anticipate somebody in elbow. The wall goes down also. But now boxed in, Lowell tucked in between spawn door. Actually, Nuki makes his way all the way back over towards A side. Not sure if you retrieved that weapon here.
Joke's over.
Heretics will hold strong for the time being. There you go. Batty G gonna pop the ult. Aqua actually gonna slow him down initially, and Pora will shut it down.
Okay. Looks like the old... Oh, Nuki. Just winded me. Oh. Oh, and lol. Left in a 1v3 now. Previously 1v4. Oh, a little sheriff. And look, Heretics look sharp. They've been warming up. You can see the aim is definitely there. But the round, no matter which way you cut it, is going to Ballista. Once again, a reminder for those just tuning in, maybe you haven't watched as much Valorant as the others, maybe you've just become a recent fan. Heretics were the ones who, I guess, still maintained the big crown, technically. Yes, since then there have been others to rise to the occasion, but technically Heretics were the one to do it in the big scenario. Now, yes, roster change, this and that, style change, the scene has evolved in such a short time. Welcome to Valorant. But these guys were the bar to look to, and right now, they are being bullied.
Yeah, I mean, it literally, it's a mirror image of the first half of Shakalaka on Ascent. Right now, Heretics look unable to really put the stop on any of these all-out aggressive pushes from Ballista. QXV now going to pop the showstopper. Again, where we see it, the zoning ult, low backs all the way up. Nuki will find a kill on the flank. That's a very quick flank, actually. Find him awful all the way here. Baddy going to pop through, though. Finds a kill onto triple. Bold finds a second. Low will fall.
I mean, and then they're not stopping. They continue this pressure. This is something you cannot ignore with them. They give you no space at all, smothering you from the start. Now, Nuki has been great at doing what he can, but the conversions to rounds, he's still in a 2v4 here. Over by his side, starts to make some sort of presence and some sort of progress, but the crossfires are sublime. This is, Joe, I'm going to say this, and people may hate me for this, but this is when people talk about, you know, the NA style, EU style, when we talk about highly explosive teams, Ballista play a, I guess, compositionally comparable style to NA to a degree. The kind of explosive Phoenix coming in here, a little bit more contact base, hyper aggressive. If EU is not used to this style by the time you get to international tournaments and they don't have an answer, I don't even want to theory craft it. I don't even want to go down that route, but you have to find the answer to this, and right now Heretics are not having the answer. Last time, they did beat a similar team in Shakalaka by meeting fire with fire, right? You threw Nisao at it and went, right, go kill. But here, they don't have him to play with.
No, and to be fair to Nuki, yes, he picks up that flank, but the immediate response from Ballista, as soon as that kill comes through, and again, the 50-50 in that post-plant scenario is, can we push deeper? You know, are we going to over-invest in this? And right there, as soon as that kill comes through on the flank, they know that actually, you know, Nuki, potentially the duelist, for example, is not going to be there to protect that push. So straight away, Baddy and Bald, they come through and they capitalize. They find another kill as well. Once again, trying to push through. Baddy is just on point, man. Was it like 15
I'm getting that
now?
Crosshair. I'm getting everything.
Shampoo,
the config,
toothpaste,
mouse pad. Yeah, honestly, it's. Can I just get a list of everything? Like, I want to lie to myself and tell me I will become like this. That guy is making Phoenix look incredibly viable for one, and his aim is so sharp. I mean, this guy is crisp. He's entry fragging, but then also, of course, staying alive to the post plant because no one can deal with him, and still doing damage. This is the insanity. Now, we will start discussing how do you deal with this? How do you get around this? Because we've seen, yes, Nuki's kind of quick flanks have certainly helped matters, but it hasn't really dealt with these all-in hits, and I can't wait for the devs to theorize how you handle this. There are ways, there are means. The op is certainly one of them, but I'm not seeing it come out just yet. Ultimate now being built up again. Baddy G doesn't need help, he's just farming it from kills. And look at this deep angle. Now, you may check on it, but you ain't got the gun to deal with it. This is so well considered by Ballista.
Really is, and 3 remaining severity, you can see Rubino just behind, trying to crack the wall. Again, maybe just look for a kill or something on the way out here, do some economy damage, but QX3 will clean him up. Lol all the way back in market, but you make a really interesting point there. Nuki would usually be the one for Heretics that picks up that operator, but right now the scoreline 7-2, they have an absolute stranglehold in terms of the economy. Yep. Ballista, I mean, so there's no possibility to even get that out. They need to get, you know, 2 or 3 clean rounds in succession to be able to do that.
And that's under such a conditional factor that you're in the right place at the right time. These guys are hard to read because they're so quick. I mean, you can gamble stack it, sure. They have very few tells. They have some, but it's not easy. And again, their pressure is unrelenting. I'd love to see a more well-rounded op against them, someone who is willing to maybe either go aggressive, which is crazy, like obviously like running in there if you got to back yourself. I'd love to see that. It's hard to, you're not, utility is not stopping them. We've not seen Lol able to slow these guys down. We are not seeing Rubino really get around them even with that early information. The blinds aren't slowing them down themselves either. This comp just doesn't seem as though it's quite strong enough in any aspect. Let's see how this works out though, because so far they're not quite to site, but they're now on site. Smokes are in place. Nothing has hindered their approach. Yes, Batty took a touch of damage, but now of course healed up. He'll be just fine. And now Spike to be planted. Not just yet. Had to kind of peel themselves away. We're seeing ultimates being invested.
Hunter's Fury once again from Rubino all the way back in spawn. Over will convert that onto QXV and lamps. Again, get the spike down pretty clean here. Find themselves, actually, I was going to say 4v5, but Lowell finds a second. Bold will fall. Batty G now going to try and contest inside. And actually catches over with a smoke in hand.
Who expects someone to push in the slow? I mean, Batty G's going to be there. That smoke's going to dissipate soon. Okay, this post plant's tricky. They need to maybe take some space. And it looks like Batty G wants to get that for them. But the trade comes out effectively and Batty G is dead. Just Morphin left alive. No way to get around it here. Spike has plenty of time on it. Diffuse comes out. And they were unable to make that similar stand towards lamps. They were unable to take that space in the post plant they were given before. By the time Batty G tried to make that play, his HP was already so low after that little bit of a scuffle he had earlier with the Omen. Even though I liked that play, pushing in to that after hearing just a couple of audio cues here and there. I still like this play, but there's the answer, a good retake. Now, that gets tricky. Yeah, again, none of these are easy answers, right? Like, a good retake is hard to pull off because that was a slightly changed up post plant, it felt like. They didn't have as much lamps control that time around.
And the thing is, my worry is, you know, if Heretics do revert to kind of just playing so deep that they're committing to the retake, you give Ballista that space and they get the spike down clean and you don't contest, they will push. They will keep pushing. So it's not even really a definitive win condition for them once again.
Well, they're fighting this.
Yeah.
First time we're seeing the fight on it, and it's just a mad spray. If Over lands it on Batty G, you'll take that every day of the week, but Bold now has to check again. It's so sharp, and now the Seekers come out. There's no way that the Nuki gets away from it. That was just relentless aggression again, taking over B-Long off the back of Bold's utility work being perfect. It did.
The last one didn't get destroyed. It actually reveals Pora's position. Again, not going to matter too much. Lowell going to rejoin him now over towards Elbow. And this wall down, it's going to eat up so much time for Heretics here. Going to try and break it initially. That's a 4v2 for Ballista here.
One enemy remaining.
This ain't slipping. Lol can put up some numbers, but the trades are always going to be effective. 9-3. This has been a lesson. I think this is very much, hey, Polish teams are very much on the map. There's no two ways about this. I will not have it any other way. These are not one-trick ponies. They have a very well-versed playstyle, and it's something that Europe is not used to. Now, something to be said, though, does it get tricky to make this playstyle work on the defensive side? Technically, sure. You can talk through it. It's very easy to be hyper-aggressive on this, but does that then translate easily to a defensive side? Well, we're going to find out. This is where it's not so well-rounded. I feel like Heretics plays that more well-rounded composition. It has a little bit more flexibility to it. However, you've got to have a plan in mind, right? Get proactive, I guess, is the answer.
Well, the big problem is, I mean, Heretics look best when they have that widespread default, very slow information gathering. It's very progressive. Now, Ballista, if they keep the pace up, oh, look at this. They're actually going to push all the way through the TP outside showers. Still 2 players remain on B site here. Heretics might lean into this a little too hard.
Avova's in a weird position. Bold and Avova just kind of trading out kills there, but Avova has taken control. Morphin's alone, but the fast flank's now going to lose its form. But Morphin's aim is sharp as well. These boys have been putting in their hours, but Nuki still always deadly, still a threat. Now that fast flank couldn't come through. They've had to go around the long way. Heretics take side control of the back of Nuki, and they needed a player to step up, and it might just be Nuki, but Batty G's still alive. You don't go around without saying this man's name, but Pora beats him to the punch. Now Spike will go down, but the round is there's any which way you cut this, and it came down to a 1v1 after having basically a 4v2 on the site, still effectively held by Morphin.
On the money.
Picking up the first kill, and again, the second here, Nuki just not in a position to trade that one out. And as soon as that first kill comes in, no real. And again, I think, like I said, Heretics played into that a little bit. I mean, it's Avova kind of just charging towards elbow, then Lau's, you know, solo challenging from Octagon, Nuki's boombotting and Hooker. It's just a really disjointed push there. On the back of, I think they were saying they're all TP'd, they're going to push showers.
Yep.
Just a really, really weird look from Heretics.
But also good work from Pora to be diligent enough to keep that cam in the right place, check on it, still make sure that that flank came to nothing. That's the value of having a good Cypher, at least, is that map control. So that worked out well for them. We see that kind of roaming hit squad of, you know, the Phoenix, the Raze, and Sky kind of peeling away from that A pressure, went for early information, sees nothing, backs away, still showing presence by throwing down Sky's utility, but they're going to stack out towards B. Now, again, the buy should be substantially better for Heretics, but it doesn't mean there's not danger, and Nuki's got to play this one a little cautiously to an extent, because this is a problem. No one checked on Morphan, who's once again tucked in that corner. Yes, he gets found by Pora, but it is still a 2v3 on the site itself. You did have Sky leaning this way, but seems to have doubled back towards A now.
Gonna try and wait out QXV inside Tube here, but I'm gonna say Rubino actually potentially giving him a 1v1. He will win out. ADG now in elbow. Bold making his way back through the defensive spawn. A difficult retake here. ADG has got his hands on a Spectre. See what he can get done here.
They've got both of their flashes still up. There's one. Oh, that was one player blind. Rubino's still okay. Batty G on the swing, but takes damage, 21 HP for the spam. No, lol. We'll keep this safe. But there was a threat there, and that was very little coming back out on the other side.
The Heretics will host their 5th now, and see with the investment in the previous round, they're going to chuck a few sheriffs at this. A Bucky for good measure, obviously. Why wouldn't you? But right here, I mean, this... Again, this one, you got to argue, it's probably going to play out the same way in Ballista's eyes, right? It's a similar sort of scrappy investment here, and they can play it the same. And the one thing you notice about Ballista is it doesn't matter what weapons they've got, they will still look for early round control. They don't sit back, they don't wait for a team to play in to close the distance. They like to take this early control.
And once again, they will fight tooth and nail to maintain this shower control. They've shown early presence, going to fall away from this. They spotted out at least presence towards the backside of things, and we're seeing a very slow default from Heretics, which I like. I think it's probably the best thing to do against this side, is try and cross, you know, cross the T's, dot the I's, and create a safety net. Now, timing could be a factor. Looking at Hookah, I'm seeing Sage and I'm seeing Brim. I don't know if they're going to go for an aggressive play if they get the feeling or receive contact on A, but they might be on a fast rotate. Bold going to be at least forced away from that angle. You can see Batty G tucking himself in the corner. That might be a one and done, but no, he's actually taking the aggressive fight. That's an information reveal, and Bold does get one. This once again is trading effectively for Heretics. They are keeping things moving in the right direction. Yes, there is still a raise here, no ult to be seen, and just the Sheriff to play with.
Back here, actually. To the shock dart, yeah. Gonna give away information there. Obviously, QX3 is being held. Right, coming in from Morphin. I mean, actually, he's gonna have a hell of a job here to make this Bucky work. I guess Nuki is potentially close enough to get a reasonable amount of damage. We know this thing can do. Actually, yeah, down to 25 HP, nearly landed that one. But
gun here.
The weapon's just too strong.
Go. Heretics well stabilized. They've done exactly what has been required of them to stabilize this game. And keeping their cool and their composure is something that we need to keep in check with these players. Because right now, it's very easy to get a little, not necessarily tilted, I think that's the wrong word, but start to feel a little bit of pressure, right? You're in this scenario, you've come out and you've had a team just kind of style on you. Just put you through a clinic in the first half. So they've got to come in, keep this mentality in the correct place, maintain this composure, and just kind of, as said, equal out the scoreline. They've done that well enough. Now, yes, the bonus round should go Ballista's way, but imagine if they convert that. That would be perfect. This is the ideal way for Heretics to instantly get back to this one. But for Ballista, they need to make their impression noted on this side now.
Let's see. Back of the way for that. I'm not sure if that was just on the back of, you know, hearing 2 or 3 different weapons to spam through that smoke. You've got to be careful. A little bit of pressure showing through the TP as well. And see,
look how deep they're sitting.
Yeah, well, I was going to say they have the orbital strike. BALLISTA back on his ultimate once again. See, with Karemi playing that elbow cross, he has the information there, but it looks as if they're poised to make these ultimates count on B side.
Trick shot.
Oh, but Pora actually slips through. He's going to find that first kill.
I know exactly.
Now that's nice. Now, here we go. Cypher gonna reveal information. Morphin probably not happy about this, neither is Batty G. And they can get aggressive. He could just post this and hope for the best. And he finds Batty G. That's excellent. That's another ultimate remove. Sky had hers, but I'm yet to see that come into play. It might be out and about right now. It is. Seekers are going through on this. And a quick play right back in. But Ballista trying to take the fight, but Heretics have the greater numbers. And now a 1v3 ensues. QXV deep towards that CT side. A freebie on Pora. The Tracer Fire gave it away. Absolutely gave it away. And now the smoke might give him a little bit of a lurk here, but it would be two people facing. Time beginning to dwindle. He's got to make his move and make it correctly. In we go. No clean fight. Really well played to Heretics for both of them facing that to ensure that no clean 1v1 would happen.
And again, the switch up there was traditionally, obviously, Heretics are the masters of walling off elbow and kind of just committing to playing sight and trying to funnel the defending team back in through that defensive spawn doorway. But this time around, I mean, 3 strong. They push all the way into elbow. They don't allow Ballista to set up anything. And again, that's the risk, right? When you play so deep like that, you give up site control. Again, if you don't give any information away, no presence is shown, and they find that elbow kill, as you saw Pora did pretty much instantaneously, run the risk of allowing the attacking team to do so. Pora going to find kill over towards Showers. Once again, though, like I said, it doesn't matter what Ballista have. They look for that early round control.
Yeah, and for me, I'm glad to see Heretics have done the absolute perfect start for them in this half. They've managed to not only get the bonus round, they've done everything that is necessary. This is perfect for them to build back in, eliminate that kind of, I guess, lead that Ballista definitely had, and that advantage, that even mental game that was very favorable to them. That has kind of instantly been equaled out. Yes, it's a bit of a build back in. Nuki gonna give us a little bit of a show. Rubino's there as well. Double facing, or was triple facing on the way in. So once again, this is really nice work from Heretics. There is no clean fight to be had so far.
Last player standing.
The last one will be QXV. The flawless round from Heretics. Again, slow, progressive setup. Pora finds the kill over on one side and immediately they pivot back. That's really where Heretics look best, right? When they're able to find kills from this really, I guess, thin spread setup that they have on pretty much every map. Unless they're going for an all-out site hit, which it looks like they might actually opt for here with 4-man lean over towards B this time around. But Ballista, I mean, their playstyle, it does kind of play into that. Once again, you see the utility invested early on. Some information outside market. We're actually going to pull back. This is uncharacteristic here. Because I think they only spotted one outside there, Lauren. This is interesting.
Yeah.
It was only Nuki there.
Deploying drone.
Again, falling all the way back towards Tube. They aren't posted up at all. They've sat super deep on this. As said, and this clear from Rubino basically takes away all of that early posturing that they had. Yes, Nuki might have to clear a little longer. It might slow it down by like another 10 seconds. But other than that, this is a very passive default hold. And that op's still towards A. They've not gone for any bigger info. Again, I'm not sure what the plan is on this round, but sight is 100% Heretics. There is no fight even to begin with on here. Lol gets the deeper wall as well, gets quickly taken away. Spamming on towards the side, but receives more damage. Down to 50 HP now. So, once again, this retake better be well considered, and it's all just from CT and kind of the bend on this. I'm not sure what the plan is here.
You have the showstopper and the orbital strike, but actually, yeah, showstopper will get invested, but Pora immediately shuts it down. A 2-for-1 trade, 3-for-1 now, 4-for-1. Avova finds another. Last man standing will be Karemi, and yeah, I'm absolutely with you. To have the operator invested there, sat in heaven, and have two people essentially not fact-finding, doing nothing. There was no movement whatsoever on A. They were stuck rigid in that setup, and like I said, the lean was so heavy towards B. I was super surprised at that early information. Ballista didn't act upon it at all. There was no rotation that came out. They just backed up and played so deep on B site.
And that's where I'm with you. I'm absolutely all for that early little investigation play between, I think it was Sky and Raze, who went for that little look through hookah. But if then they kind of leaned over Morphan off the back of even just a little bit of pressure, they heard the Al drone on long, I'd have liked to have seen a bit more of a response. To be fair, that was an all-in piece from Heretics when we have been seeing those defaults, I guess. And maybe that's what they've read into. But it looks like a timeout has come in. I believe this is for Ballista. I imagine this is... I'd say it's tactical, but I'm not 100% sure. Hopefully we get confirmation on that, just to double check. But, again, if you see so many indicators that it's going to be a site hit, if you don't respect it, you're going to be put in that situation, right? Like, if you don't lean over your op player, if you don't have a little bit of freedom in that, you're going to get stumped. And right now, I think we are seeing a little bit of an issue with Ballista here. We've seen that they have the perfect attack. I mean, I've not seen someone look so devastating in a while, but Nookie has the perfect read here. This is the brilliance of a default. They should be able to catch a fair amount of this. Yep, there we go. Nookie, brilliant positioning, and there's still Pora here. Don't know if they got a gun away from that.
You will not kill my allies.
Oh, actually going to get Nuki straight back on his feet, so all that hard work for nothing, essentially. They still find themselves in a 3v5. Right here, again, just... this is Heretics just anticipating, right? They know that this early round control is going to be on Ballista's radar. They're set up fantastically for it once again. And the thing is, it's a couple of different variations to the default from Heretics that they're able to prioritize one position, one main. This time around, it finds them 2 kills. Again, we see it on other maps. Ballista happy to stack 5 up and push on defense at 5.
Open this one. Pora, that is... I think a gun recovered. It might be taken out of his hand. I think it will be. Let's see if he can keep this rifle. He is being worked on right now. And yeah, gun gone. Double digits for Heretics. They have stabilized. They have, combat medic just got themselves at least stable. Now, 10 rounds is excellent, and the way they've been doing it is impressive. Nookie's been wonderful in this half, but everyone has been doing their job. That default that we've accredited Heretics with this before, the likes of beating G2 with this, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
They are very good at catching these aggressive teams on the switch, and they're very aware of how to play against proactive defensive teams. I think it's something that is a huge skill with them. So, once again, Ballista, I think you have to turn it up to 10 if you want to do this, but you start feeling under the gun when you're doing it now at a deficit. So, let's see how this works out.
A heavy lean for Ballista here. I've over going to find Batty G creeping down long. All goes up. They're going to invest the res there. I'd see nothing to punish that. Nuki's on the other side of the map with the showstopper, so would have been the only possibility to do. But now Ballista, look at it, swing back over towards A. Morphan going to find a Vova in market. That's a big kill for them, but that's going to force Heretics to pretty much commit here. The Seekers come through, going to give all the information across.
They've invested heavily into this round, though, and here come the other investments on the other side. At least gets one as he goes down, but LoL finding QXV, not saying XQC is super difficult, by the way, has actually been incredibly important. It keeps a big advantage, or at least maybe a value to this round going on. You can see Heretics, okay, get moving. Now, Batty G, he's not backing away from anything. Using the ultimate's going to reveal a whole lot of information. LoL is there, Spike is planted. It's bought them a little bit of time. Now, Morphan can clear through hookah and say, no one is here. Might be able to get a good look towards site, and then, again, process of elimination. They've got to be dedicated either towards, in site itself, or maybe towards long, but they've got to get clearing, and pretty darn fast.
There you can see, actually, and so they still have the wall. Actually, the first shock dart going to do a little bit of damage, but it doesn't follow up, and they got the half already, Lauren.
They've got to pressure something, though. They've got to get moving. They've got to take a gamble and take one of these 2 fights. Otherwise, they lose this. And you can see Batty G is trying to do that desperately. But no, LoL's denied it all. Morphan finally comes out, but I think time is gone. He's going to sit on this one. Where's Rubino? Where's Rubino? He just about comes around. He gets the round for Heretics, but that was far too close.
Yeah, not sure if Morphan knew he still had his molly there. He could have...
He had his molly?
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not a guaranteed kill, but at least it...
You can cut off or force the fight to be unfavorable.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he maybe had... I mean, it's under 2 seconds to throw that down, take the 1v1, and then still stick. Yes, the half came through. I couldn't actually hear the spike ticking away and what stage it was at, but I can't help but feel maybe should have invested that there.
I mean... at that point you had, you've got to gamble as to where the positions would be, sure. So you might as well go for it. And the fast flash on the swing, Nuki's having none of it. Nuki has elevated his game right now. Heretics are looking sharp here. This is a really good performance from them. And their ability just to come in and play to their own skill level, not dip down, not get nervous, not look flustered after the half. They've come in and done exactly what was required. And those very all-encompassing defaults that we talk about and those heavy leans once they get that information is paying dividends and then some. So for now, Heretics going through the motions. They've got the initial pick, they've taken a second, they've paused for thought. I want to see what that Cypher gets up to. I'm kind of interested to see what Poro's going to do with this. Maybe just try and find some fact-finding or just ensure that no one goes walkabouts for free info. Maybe even just a good lurk, who knows. But for now, as I said, time dwindling, just going to apply the pressure. Does go down, so that could be almost a misread of information. Or they're like, okay, well, we know it's Pora. The sight hit's going to be towards B, and it definitely is. That's a mistake from Kareme to be wide out in the open. Gets caught as the smoke dissipates. Ultimate comes in, buys some time.
30 seconds left.
You managed to stabilize, though. Spike still needs to go down. 25 seconds left on the clock, and Heretics still have total side control here. Nuki just actually a little sniff towards spawn there. There's a little bit of damage. See, they come through and contest this. As the spike goes down, Nuki falls. BADDIG will find that kill. QXV finds a second.
Okay, Rubino on the site and Avova, where he's going around the world. Avova is in such a good position that wait, BADDIG expected it for a second. Oh, but Avova! And now the 1v1, he's sitting this. He's still sitting this.
No
He's
way.
not got off the diffuse. Oh my god, he's actually just sat this one.
Oh my god. It's difficult for Avova because when he finds that second kill there, he assumes that, you know, that's maybe the person that tapped the spike,
Sure,
right?
no idea. You're working with such limited information. You're like, okay, there's one, right, second.
It could have been, yeah, with the timing.
Technically, yeah. And even then, you don't expect him to
actually.
sit on it. Surely you don't expect him to sit this.
Oh, I think actually, as QXV, Morphan taps it, QXV sticks it, so yeah, I guess just balls of steel on the side of QXV to hold on to that, and like you said.
5-play stack towards B. They're going aggressive. This is mad play. We've got a 5-play stack from the defensive side towards B, and I say defensive side, they've pushed up pretty far, and now, yes, it's been noted, but look how far away they pushed this team.
What?
I don't...
Okay, well, they still find that kill as well. BADDIG gonna find Avova all the way deep on long. Spike's still stuck back in market here, so again, just nothing gained off this.
Morphan's been found, and this is just a weird round. This is like deathmatch. They are taking fights in the craziest places. Yes, they force some ultimates, but Nuki's taken some space. Now he's got a clean fight. Well, initially had a clean fight towards that CT side. Outdoes Bald every day of the week on this. Now looking like he just wants to take space for his team. He is trailblazing a path to allow that plant to come in. He even finds QXV on this. Nade goes down. This is excellent play from Nuki again. I cannot say this enough. You've seen aggression elsewhere. Okay, I'm gonna go take showers and I'm gonna go take the site for you. Bring that spike. Spike down, there's nothing Kareme can do. Time to just back away from this, honestly. But this will be 12 on the round for Heretics. And you've got to say it, Heretics have been leading this every single way on this half.
Yeah, what a bounce back. And again, it's similar, you know, trend we can accredit to that Shakalaka series, where they were able to just, again, sit back and kind of, I guess, take those feeler rounds, Lauren, where they can kind of anticipate. And I mean, the setup here from Heretics to deal with any sort of aggression from Ballista on their defensive side. And we said it before, right? It takes a lot to convert, you know, playing like this and this agent composition on defense more so. On attack, yes, you can dictate the pace. Yes, you can push in, take those 4v2s, 4v1s. The only thing that really counters you is a stack or, you know, a flank finding massive value. But right here, Ballista struggling. Yeah, struggling to make this work on defense.
And look, this is why you've got to say Heretics are a very well-rounded team. They got absolutely destroyed on the first half. They've come back, and they had the perfect default to account to this. We've already accredited them with the ability to do this in the past, and it's highlighted again against Ballista. This is something that they are categorically some of the best at in Europe, and is being shown. Ballista, again, a newer team to our eyes. We don't know their level of depth. Once they get countered once their initial style has been answered, what's that next step? We don't know. No one's pushed them to that, at least what we've been watching. Fnatic certainly didn't. So again, we are still very new to what these guys can achieve. So, as it stands, Heretics doing the usual, crossing all the T's, dotting the I's. This is just the perfect play for Heretics to make sure none of that mad, unbridled aggression is going to get anywhere. So for now, this is when the round starts.
This is weird once again, though. They're going to play the triple stack is on B here, and there's no attempt to find any information early on. It's playing contact with the majority stack here, and it puts a lot of pressure onto QX3 and Bold, because if they give up a kill, it's rough to come back from that. And I'm going to pop the Seekers actually on contact on A here. BALLISTA immediately going to hit the rotate.
Well, Vova giving away the position, the readjustment, but Bold didn't know it. I don't know if QXV wasn't able to translate that quick enough, to relay that information fast enough, but now there's a problem. This is going to be BALLISTA in the right place at the right time, and he needs one of those big performances we've seen him with before. But QXV goes down, and now Nuki's got his ult. Might just send it at some point. He's got 6 HP, so just maybe clearing heaven through towards CT. Let's see, it is going to be towards CT. No one on the receiving end. They've got 13 seconds here. It's still a 3v3. Spike is getting planted. Good work from them. But now let's look at these post-plant scenarios. Zol's got one, Nuki's got the other. And it all comes down to Kareme now in a 1v3. He's going to get the first, but there was a res, so it's still a 1v3. And this is map point here. Ult's being popped, another isolated, but Rubino's had enough for the nonsense. Investing the ultimate to close out map 1.
What a roller coaster. Back and forth once again, Heretics. I mean, you could argue that defensively, potentially, there's way more opportunities for that defensive kind of proactive aggression that we can see. So I want to see Ballista stick with it. I want to see them try and set the pace. The thing for me is, again, this is another test for the Heretics default, right? It's how well they can kind of deal with that, how well they can read those early round signs that Ballista use. Because the one thing is, they always invest it's 2 or 3 sets of utility on these pushes. So I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them repeat what they did on defense on Bind. And that goes without saying. But this time around, I do think they have a better opportunity to showcase it. Or actually, use the spy cam there, and the timing is perfect to come back and check it because he catches all this information in the push.
Yeah, but he's also just caught a boatload of utility, and we do have a little bit more explosive element to this now with Jet kind of coupled into this one, but Heretics right there with it. And I say Heretics, Avova just finding a double out of nowhere. And it looks like they're going to fight fire with fire. This is a messy, chaotic round without UI. Hopefully we can get that one on unless my brain's just missing it. It does look like we are down to just, well, Bold at this position. Tries to bait it out, faking the plant. Let's look towards heaven. Seeing a gun barrel at the very least, and that HP is going to be a big problem for him.
Let's see. Let's have the spike, so he could potentially plant us. I'm not sure of utility available to really stop this from happening. Oh, just trying to tap it out. Rubino only has the recon. He just caught a glimpse of him there. He's going to fire the recon down as a little bit of a distraction. Drops, picks up the kill again. Bald, very low HP, so very difficult for him to get out there. The timing being his demise there. But again, just the trades come through just so quick. So quick when Ballista actually decide to commit on here. And, you know, Heretics actually standing strong. They try and contest site control early on before the spike even gets, you know, comfortably onto site.
Yeah, and it looked like Heretics there. Again, we talked about obviously Ballista adjusting because they were the ones who lost map 1, but then I also do want to see Heretics adjusting on this side too. I feel like this is something that maybe they could actually kind of bring out a little bit more of themselves here and show this ability, because last time around, at least on the defensive side for Heretics, it was quite tricky. They definitely got pushed a fair amount, so I want to see that next level from them. It'll be a brutal wake-up call, of course. Now let's see what happens over towards A long as well, see if there's any sort of early fight there. No, that Cypher's playing very passive. I'm keeping my eye on that Raze here. You can see that early little information peak down towards middle, backs away from it, and this is Ballista playing quite default-esque.
I almost didn't recognize him for a second there.
Yeah, I was like, wait, who's on which side?
But I guess them playing for that C-long orb early on in the round. You can see now BALLISTA got himself tucked all the way at the bottom of long ramp. Again, they're all going to drift over this way. Pora actually going to creep around. He does, and BALLISTA's going to find it. There's a second player stacked up behind default with Snooki. He's going to swing and find one in return.
UXV really wanted to get that kill as soon as he could. Now, Nuki's still being a problem. He should be overwhelmed now, but he could have been a bigger threat. They've had to invest a fair amount to get rid of him on this, which might make that post-spawn a little weaker.
First, I almost missed that. The round 2 Seekers coming out of bold.
Yeah. So, building up early in this. Lol tries to get ahead, but now in no man's land. Still gets bailed out by Rubino. Nice work from him. But you can see the crossfire still holds. Nothing yet to disrupt this between the Jet and Killjoy. Karemi probably first contact, and then the swing from Jet. No, tucks it the other way around, which could have been maybe better handled. Vova undoes it. That was the more favorable fight for him. He's happy on that retake if he gets a clean fight. That crossfire, I think, slightly lost out on his potency then.
It really did. I mean, with the Jet in hell, kind of stood, obviously QXV, sorry, drifting out of hell slightly. When he's holding this angle here, you can see Karemi's not got full vision. He can get peeked for free. So he has to swing on that, and Karemi doesn't. The first kill comes through completely uncontested. Heretics brute forcing their way back into that one, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely did. And look, if they're starting to feel themselves, confidence now starting to build up after map 1, and you know what? They need a better defensive side, I feel, in this to kind of give us a good look as to what the Heretics side can do. And they are still one of the most well-rounded teams, I would say, out there. They have a depth to their style that not many other teams do have at the moment. So this is an interesting look. I want to see what they change up here, how they continue to look going forward. Of course, the money will be favorable towards Heretics in this round. We have Sheriffs, I think, no, there is actually all Sheriffs across the board. It just updated for Bolt, up against, you know, SMGs. So it's not a heavily favored round towards Heretics, because that can happen. Batty G just gonna give Nuki a free little haircut, say, hey, no worries, look, quarantine's been hard on all of us. Here's a free one.
See, listen, now we'll stack up around that pick. It was on to B, but look like they might try and pop their way into Garage here. Lowell gonna throw out a slow just to boy off, and Batty does creep through it once again, but Lowell waiting for it. Actually, dealing with that recon ball is going to give away the information. There are a couple more. Paranoia comes through, but actually Lowell gets deep enough in front of it.
Oh, that's so well done. Handling all three. And yes, they trade back in, but the favorable numbers, of course, now sitting still towards Heretics. And look at this depth. They are not allowing these Sheriffs to find that perfect form, and Bold is now being surrounded. Slowly but surely, just cornered in towards Garage. Spike being left a little further out gets a little bit of a problem, and Avova's not going to let that get anywhere. There is no chances to be found in this. Avova, well handled. And the one thing I do want to say, and this is, I guess, something that comes with time and playing the opponent. We don't know how many times Heretics have had to play someone like Ballista. You get used to them taking liberties, right? There was, in Counter-Strike, for example, you had Stewie, the smoke criminal, right? No one expects people to walk smokes. He was doing it all day long, catching people, pop flashing through it. Way more commonplace now, of course, in the FPS world, that's a very traditional thing to almost go to. But initially, that would catch so many people off. You have to now be expecting Ballista to always be trying to aggress forward. It just seems like they'll walk through slows, they'll take every fight that they potentially can, and Heretics seem a little bit more aware of that now.
The thing, right? It's one of the big differences from having a Sky and a Phoenix in as opposed to a Breach. You throw down a smoke, it gives them space to move up. They can pop out of that so easily, and Ballista do it time and time again. But I mean, that's a perfect example there with Lowell. He throws down the slow and he checks it. It's that discipline to check it, to anticipate that coming through. Look at back again. Round 3, this scoreline again. Let's look at the ultimate progress. I keep looking at it for Ballista, and I'm like, Batty G's on the running back now. Bold basically back to the Seekers, and you can see they go over to C long, collect the orb. Now they're coming towards A. They're maximizing the ult progress every single round.
Oh, Avova's in trouble. I don't know if he's getting out of this in time. 50 HP, just takes a mad TP. He actually makes it out of this. Avova's still alive. And a problem, but no... Avova's just so snappy today. The adjustment's sick. And now BSD are in trouble. You can see them now being piled in on, just being chipped away out the push towards the side. Batty G's seen it, but by now it's still going to be effective. The flash comes in, isolates one, but it's Nuki still good for 2. And you can see Batty G with it all to do in front of him and no leg to stand on. Just stunning play from Heretics, and Nuki as well.
Yeah, Batty actually allowing Nuki to slip onto back default there. And again, he has to use his flashes, right, to get a decent, clean peek onto the defensive spawn. Right here, you can see he actually double team flashes. Karemi tries to turn from it, but this second one here, it catches him just as he gets peeked from Heaven and Nuki on backside. Unfortunate there, and again, Ballista usually fairly on point with the utility usage in terms of synergy and avoiding that. Again, one thing you can always know, you can see it time and time again with how coordinated they are around Bold's flashes and where they come in. It's very rare you actually see that from Ballista.
So there has been a timeout called, or not sure. Decided that was coming through, but
it was Ballista.
I imagine it would be at this point.
Like
Maybe
a
just
reset,
try and
yeah.
get a grip. Yeah, exactly. Just kind of talk through the economy, where they're at, what they need to do here, because the frustrating part is they are getting spike plants, but they're not getting their post plants. They're losing too many people either instantly, or, you know, the retakes have been pretty sublime. They haven't been able to get away with that bullish style.
There's not a lot of space behind the sites on Haven, so they can't really play that hyper aggro post plant situation. And like I said, even in round one, Heretics putting up the fight. You know, again, in that scenario, it was Avova. As soon as Avova's swinging, there was a second player invested to try and stop the plant from coming in. And that's a little bit of a switch up from Bind, I'll be honest.
It is a big change. UXV walking on through, standard, lol, all too aware. Jet is in, the flash comes out. You can see the idea here. On the back of the peak, they get the flash going to try and force that fight to be favorable, but once again, Nuki says no! 3 huge kills, Batty G down, UXV down. That has been incredible, impeccable impact once again by Nuki.
I mean, we were talking about this. Obviously, Niso stepped up big time to put the stops on Shakalaka with this hyper aggro playstyle, but Nuki really worth his weight in gold right now.
Spike down, C.
A clean hold. Again, lesser equipment for them, but the utility usage on point once again. They get 2 clean flashes onto backside. Nuki actually, I think, counter-peek. He was playing anti-flash all the way back on steps there.
Look, anti-flash is a whole discussion that you just have to pull into play against this side. They are still pretty dependent on it when you see that Sky and Phoenix coming in. Avova going to be adjusting, well, he's trying to find that information. But now they do have, I guess, 2 dedicated here. Let's see if there's going to be any more. Oh, Bora gets a freebie, just the fade away towards QXV. The ultimate comes out. Nuki's not afraid by any margin. This man is standing, and he will not relent. He pushes further forward. Batty G, yeah, makes it towards the side, but now he's surrounded, tries to make more from it. Gets down lol, surprisingly. But there simply aren't enough numbers when Nuki is taking 3 every single round.
This is switch up. Again, I know I just mentioned it in the previous round, but here on the buy round, Heretics happy to brawl. And they're fighting so deep, it's not as if they're fighting, yes, Bora gets the kill from Heaven, but Nuki's then, he's pushing sewers. This is complete switch up from what we saw on Bind, where, you know, almost Ballista were getting away with murder in terms of being able to get close enough to find first contact. And actually right there, like that kind of aggression comes through after the Seekers is popped, so you know Ballista are ready to explode on that.
Exactly, and this is why I wanted to see someone, at least on the defensive side, be aggressive enough, play into it, because we saw that Ballista were able to get away with whatever they wanted, but with someone like Nuki showing absolutely no fear, it's really tricky to keep being, you know, as I said, in their face. Now they finally had almost a clean site take, but then here we go. Already one's gone down. Batty G gonna try and make some space here, but the flash, they're all too aware. They're sitting anti-flash, they're sitting deep on this. Poor even expecting where Batty G was going to be on the swing back through, and Rubino, Nuki on the flank. This is, again, good work, but Bold re-aggresses. They sent in one, it wasn't good enough, they doubled down on it. But it's Nuki, and Nuki this time unable to get away with the shenanigans that he was getting away with before. And finally, Ballista get one on the board.
Yeah, I just want to say, it's so weird. Batty ults there from outside. Again, he wants to maximize the distance he can push on that run it back, right? But nobody is holding Heaven after Pora already finds that first kill. I think it was QXV, right? He finds that kill onto QXV, and he's allowed to re-peek Batty G as he comes back, excuse me, as he comes back out of his ultimate. But really, really weird. I mean, what is everybody else on site doing there?
Get out of my way!
Another question. Batty G, oh, that is rough. And I like this push up from the Cypher too. They are getting in their faces. This is Heretics saying, look, if you want to be doing this, we'll do it right back. A little bit deeper utility now over towards Banana, and look at this push out again. It's been a murder. Already lol's down. But look at this readjust from Nookie. You don't expect the double dip on aggression, right? But Nookie's like, you gonna check on me? You will, but I'll still win. And Nookie can't quite convert on towards a second, but again, look, Heretics are playing a very brazen game of Valorant.
Oh, she's still holding on to this. Batty G just walks up, dry peaks. Batty G's been literally healed for what seems like 200 HP this round. Back up to 99 now. Over on the flank, actually. Come through, find Morphin. Still doable here if Rubino can find some value from spawn side.
Last player standing.
Here we go. No, actually, Karemi going to shut that down. The flash comes through. Rubino has to turn for it, but still gets the headshot. Bold falls now. 1v2 for Rubino.
Rubino knows how to turn a flash or two, but he can't get past Batty G. So, for now, that dry peek in that... Ooh. Batty G feeling bold to go for that. Again, this is such a kind of who dares wins almost at this point. Heretics doubling down on mid-aggression. You had, you know, the walkout from, was it LOL, I think, through Garage. He goes out, plays around the edge of the smoke, dies for it. And then you had Nookie go, I've seen what you've done. I'm gonna go do it too. Posts up in middle. And again, it's interesting to see how Heretics are playing because, once again, the adjustment here is great. They're not allowing Ballista to get away with anything anymore.
It's all right, actually. Because if they're going to push towards B, that first Seeker going straight in tells them there's only one towards B site. Lowell got to deal with it, but three members of Heretics actually looking for a little bit of control over on A site. Lowell going to get caught in the molly, but Bold finishes it off.
Yeah, plants come in, but here comes Nookie, the kind of beast awaiting. Bringing in a satchel or two, but the crossfire holds. They have two in position. Good trade for Rubino. You can see Batty G wants in, but he's got no bullets to play with. But QXV has his back again. Re-aggressing. They're doubling down on this. This is madness from these two teams. And of over. No way to get his HP back. No way to do much about this. Batty G just roasting himself for a little bit. Spike plant comes in. No ability to deny, and of over. This 10 HP. There's a little more. Could have been something, but is this going to be absolutely
slow,
phenomenal? Look, Batty G is the final boss here. You get past him, it's game on. But every corner contains a threat. The turret could have done it, doesn't. Now what does Avova do? Baiting on the TP, trying to adjust on the angle. Now the peek's going to be there, and Karemi keeps it safe. No problem, no more aggression that time from Ballista. Like, alright guys, let's calm it down for a sec, sit deep, let's just hold this crossfire.
Response though, I mean, Ballista finding 3 on the bounce. Economy wise, I mean, Heretics going to be able to back into this, but Lowell looks like he's going to be on a... Actually, yeah, Avova on the Sheriff, Rubino on the Spectre, Lowell on the Sheriff, so... Scrappy investment on their part into this. Rubino won off the Hunter's Fury as well. Maybe going to try and cure this round with some multiple. Actually, it was a B stack coming through, and I didn't actually notice Pora wasn't on A site this time around. No utility there. Lockdown invested. They might find themselves some more success on A once again. Oh, what? That nade's going to...
Batty G. He just walked it. He just walked it. He just walked straight on through. Again, I've not seen players being this...
so unorthodox.
It really is. This is very much hyper-aggression as expected, but it's the confidence behind it. It's full commitment to it. It's no halfway markers here, but it's a 3v2. Rubino trying to work on in, but again, they are still in a little bit of a spot of bother as Rubino, of course, is working with slightly less now. Bold still very much allowing his position to be the one to be fought. Rubino will get the first check on it for free, and the spike's not planted. Now, that's an issue. Good trade for, you know, one of the players coming in, but this is now a 1v2. Yes, Pora is low, but they've made a bit of a mounting out of a molehill here, and Pora can get an individual fight, a 1v1, untradeable. No. Oh my god. These rounds are too close. Too close.
Again, no, I'm not sure how Nuki's allowed to just run up and nade the lockdown. Batty G, again, just dry. Walks up long, peeks onto sight. But there's nobody defending the lockdown. I mean, yes, they're sat deep in sewers. They're anticipating some sort of, well, not even really anticipating some sort of push. They're waiting on the lockdown, running down the clock, right? But Nuki just walks up for free and cancels that out. And again, it doesn't end up mattering, but just weird that that setup was so loose on the side of Ballista.
Nuki going in for the fight. It's who relents first between these two. He's taking a great deal of space. This should alleviate some of the pressure for Cypher. Sober, they can all try and get away from this now, but already Ballista, to no one's surprise, are on the site and then continuing further forward. Now the problem is completely blind, still held down W to try and get as deep as he could on this one. Now I don't know if he actually really saw Rubino there, so I'm not sure what information they have, but the repour of this, good find from Bold there. That's a big piece of info to be found.
Actually, the smoke comes through, potentially allowing Bold to flash, but he chooses not to. They're going to hold strong for the time being. Heretics clock ticking away here, and they have to retake mid. Look at the setup. Ballista here, Lowell going to find QXV. Morphin backside, actually a big swing and a miss here, and the kill's going in favor of Heretics.
Yeah, that was a bit of a whiff, and Batty G's going to have to go deep on this one. Oh, the swing's not going to happen against Nuki there. You're not going to get away with it. Puts down the molly.
Impressive wiring.
Don't know if it bought enough time. I don't think it has by a decent enough margin. It was close, but a couple more seconds and maybe it would have been worth that nice little molly to go down. But as it stands, that was a very last minute playback in from Heretics, to be fair. And I've got to say it, a little unfortunate with it. I can't remember who it was either Morphan or Bold with a bit of a miss that's going to cost him there.
Yeah, that was Morphan backside, but the other weird thing there is Karemi kind of over challenges in mid. He was the player in window, set up very, very deep. And ultimately there, I mean, it shouldn't be him taking first contact with Baddie playing Rabbit. Obviously, two more still on site, so a little strange.
Okay, here we go.
I've got your
Got
trail.
Omen on the way. Both Omens kind of doing the old switcheroo, so keep your eye on that one already. Morphan did find Nuki, which is a huge scalp to be claimed. Now, Avova's done work coming back into this one. Now, Lol has to lean over, but where is that spike? It's with Killjoy. And you can see Avova trying to lean forward, trying to get a little bit of a more aggressive posture. And the timing on this is everything, but QXV gets the better of Avova just before that spike came out. Lol wanted a quick trade, and he gets it. Wall goes up and over we go. Spot out Baddie! But Baddie G is living up to that name.
I do kind of love that name.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? And he plays like this, it makes it even better, you know?
But that half ends 7-5 after a very, very strong start by Heretics. Let's actually, I mean, this is the one difference on Bind, right? Towards the back end of the second half on Bind, Ballista did ease up. Towards the back end of that half here, they were speeding up. They were getting more and more aggressive. I'm just so intrigued to see how Ballista choose to play this on defense here. Looking initially, actually, just a turret going to hold down a site, and QXV and Baddie G foaming at the mouth to get out into mid, it looks like.
Let's see if they go for it. I mean, it looks like they're very much considering it. G's already made it down. 3 players down middle right now. You've got a 3-play mid push. Nuki just found Bold, so that's going to, if anything, spur this on, and they want to try and get a little pace to it. Avova so aware and so on point. What? The dink, but Avova outdid him! Avova! This aim today! And look at the numbers now, it's a 4v2. And yes, Nuki finds Karemi in the back. If you're going to go for it, you got to double down almost, as now Morphan left in a 1v4. And Heretics all too aware of the nonsense that Ballista are trying to get up to, it seems.
Doesn't fly this time around. Going to reveal his position, has to deal with the trap wire there. Spike planted on 8. Nuki just creeps up behind. Another 3k out.
I want to see his score.
Yeah,
I feel like I haven't seen it yet.
He seems to just be running 3ks today. It just all day.
Show me the scoreboard when we can, observers, pretty please. I want to see what Nuki's been up to. He's been putting up some serious numbers. I love this UI, but it doesn't really show the kills, sadly, which is something that would be really cool to add on, by the way. But for now, it is a big performance from Nuki. You've been seeing consistency and the amount of 3Ks, as you said. He's just been kind of plowing in so much damage coming through, so much value to it. Even in those post plants, just before even trying to get that spike down, it was there. Now, Ballista, the 4-play stack, down C, just full facing. Gonna probably walk through that smoke. It will be Nookie again to potentially just go straight up farming.
This is the thing. It's the same again. They're stacked up. They're pushing to take this orb, but Heretics once again set up to deal with this aggression. First kill comes through. Actually, a 2-for-2 trade here. Spike's still stuck over towards A lobby. Rubino maybe anticipating some aggression on the other side of the map, but Morphan will find Hora. All trades out. Now comes down to a 2v2.
Gold was a little bit chunkier on health. I'd be behind this. This is going to need Kareme to do some incredible work. The time being bought here is great. They've just said, all right, you guys have gone aggressive. You've got your guns. We don't think you're going to get the round. By the time they've cleared this, as they have to, as said, they've got to put so much utility in on everything. It's going to be incredibly hard to make this one work. If they just play safe angles, deeper corners to clear, you don't need to give away early opportunities. You can see them finally making it towards the site. They've doubled up towards heaven, which is quite an interesting way to approach this. Excuse me, one below in hell, one towards heaven. Rubino first to take a fight. That's going to be bold. That was the lower HP player of the two. Kareme gets a favorable fight on one below, instantly on the swing. Very well controlled in the end. Went into kind of, okay, we're going into smart mode. Don't be teabagging. All right, even if it's just, you know, dipping up and down. Honestly, that spray might need to be removed. It's crouching tactically.
It is.
Someone call the police.
I hadn't noticed that actually until you pointed it out. That's exactly what he's doing.
Scary times.
But, I mean, the one saving grace here is they made it cost for Heretics there. So, yes, you could say actually a small victory on the side of Ballista with that
21
aggression.
kills for Nookie, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And just as a measure, actually, we finished last map with 27, right? And this is 9-5
nice.
now, so...
Oh, what a flash! What a flash! Oh, that's incredible! 3 huge kills off the back of one flash, just takes the fight. But Morphan swings out to close it. And hey, it's a round. It's a round. And they can't really get around that by any way considered. So, nicely counted, I guess. Just a good bit of play. You'll take it all day of the week.
Seekers online. This was so clean.
1, 2, 3. Bum, bum, bum.
I wish mine did that.
Oh.
It don't.
It I was gonna say it do be like that, but it don't be like that.
No, it
6-9.
really don't be like that.
No. Nice scoreline on the board, of course. Beyond this, though, pistols coming out. Let's see if there's a stack or something a little interesting to play with. It looks like a little bit of a 3-2 split towards A. Very passive hold from Ballista. Probably the right approach, of course. Don't want to get caught off by the pistols. Kind of play it as a collective instead. Probably will at least get them a spike plant at this point.
But this is the thing. Whenever they have Seekers, this is on the previous Haven map as well, they always play retake on A. So expect them to send 2 up and try and burst out of heaven. See, actually hit. Go for it, but nobody really in a position to capitalize on just due to that wall coming through. So, bold! What? No way!
He just Batmaned them. He just dropped down and got 2. 1 I'll allow. 1 is enjoyable. 2.
Okay. And this is the beauty, right? You pop Seekers, you die in the round, you're already 3 out of 6 again. Because he drops down, gets the 2 kills, dies, gets the 3rd ult orb back. So he's already 50% progress back onto Seekers.
That second kill, that adjustment, dude. I could watch that. Like, just give me that replay, slow it down. Just all day long. Just... So we've seen Batty G being nuts. Now we're getting Bold coming online. Like, how deep is this team? Now, the one thing I will say is that QXV is having a bit of a mare on Jet right now. Simply not enough kills on an agent that is meant to be able to create so much space, get in your face, kind of play it out. Not seen quite enough yet of that. Maybe on the side switch we'll see more, but I haven't been in love with it yet. Again, you know, it's not quite NA. We are able to kind of critique players here, and they won't be too sad about it yet. But we are going to be seeing at least a little bit of a lean towards A. 3 players trying to progress through, and as you said, they do traditionally play retake towards that site.
Well, the 2 ultimates that dictate that are the run it back and the Seekers. So again, Batty G now to get himself up into a position set up for this. And actually, Heretics still creeping. No, don't get challenged. Actually, that's a little weird. Usually, would have seen somebody at least peek onto this, try and get a cheeky kill before the spike goes down. There's the run it back popped. That's immediately shut down and overall find QXV on top of that, and another Karemi falls.
This is perfect from Heretics, so they've been able to slice this right through. Morphan wants to do it again. You only get it once. Abova's had enough of that. The wall well placed, and the running back found nothing, almost no information too.
That there for me is a perfect example of zero respect, right? You get absolutely dominated on the retake in the previous round. Next round, okay, we're going to walk at A. We're going to walk at A again. And that time, I mean, it was clean from Heretics to hold on to that. Again, as you know, Ballista not really challenging at all. That's the problem. You don't really have any way to stop them pushing forward and getting set up in terms of getting a body into hell, getting the wall down over the spawn door, things like that. As the QXV,
ooh, ops out.
Yeah, the operator's out.
We'll see how they utilize this. I almost want to see him just post it up, not necessarily on his own, but you know, once they've cleared this much, kind of leave him here and allow the Omen, allow that AG a little bit more freedom to maybe play off the back. But we are seeing Heretics taking this mid control. Ball goes up, showing at least intention to actually kind of hit this. However, we know where the spike is. It's still towards C long. It hasn't caused too much of a rotation yet.
Oh, and actually the alarm bot being dealt with is going to pull Karemi all the way over to C site to join Bold. We'll find a kill. That flash actually not landing anything. Nuki actually playing perfectly. Anti-flash onto that one and comes out on top of it this time. But again, Karemi swings. Find another. Pora finally trades out.
No more meddling.
Wolfman's turned up in time though.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, that shot is just filth. Lol surrounded, and maybe this is the return. Ballista waking up. Here we go. We've got a bit of a game on our hands here.
And actually making defense look much better this time around, and really they're not playing incredibly proactive, which would have been my expectation,
One enemy remaining.
especially considering how it went for them on map 1. This time around, it's a very well-rounded setup from Ballista. I'll be honest. They're reacting perfectly off the information. Again, they're not being baited out in rotation as we saw there on B site.
Looks like we have a timeout coming in. Imagine it'd be a Heretics timeout at this point. You've just had a couple of rounds not going your way. Maybe time to just take a second, talk it through, kind of regather that idea. I mean, it was nice to be, I don't want to say bailed out. Bailed out is the wrong word. But you had Nuki having a belter of a game. Now, it's hard to keep doing that. It's hard to keep that pressure up. It's hard to just, it's hard to hold someone to that standard of, well, you've just got to keep getting 3Ks. If Nuki can't keep, though, onto that pace, we might see a different game come out, because Nuki has been a difference maker. Now, once again, UXV back into this, however, with that op still in play, allowing the progress to happen down towards A long. We'll see what Ballista get up to this time, if there's any more aggressive leans anywhere.
Bold one away from the Seekers again. I keep mentioning that just because it's such a huge playmaker for Ballista, and the way that they play, the way they're able to stack up and kind of, I mean, zerg their way onto some of these retakes, honestly. All right, actually, Aldo, I'm going to find nothing in towards B. Actually, Pora,
so
well equipped. Yeah, we'll find the first two. QXV will trade out, but the damage already done.
Yeah, and look at this progress. It's just fast. They know that there's a bit of a flank coming on, or at least one player left towards it. Instantly take that side control. Spike goes down. Okay, sorted. Now, post-plant in it was a 2v3, now a 2v4. That gets a little bit tougher. UXV, not going to be the first to get the contact. It will be Karemi. Rubino just wins out in this. Now the 1v4. UXV, the chances are extraordinarily slim. No one's giving opportunities. They've got that crossfire instantly on that entryway towards B. The two extremities being held between, you know, Raze kind of patrolling and the Sova out there. Yeah, QXV opting to back away. Probably the best choice in this one. Maybe just keep that rifle going forward. If not, did he have the op here? Maybe just switch it out for a rifle in the retake. Might try and recover that potentially. But as said, Heretics kind of fall back to an excellent read on the aggression that Ballista tried to pull off for once. They kind of, I feel, almost overextended. It's a hard balance. It's an incredibly fine balance. They pushed all the way towards the attacking side spawn, and of course we had Pora waiting so patiently.
You can see there again, though. He gets the first two, and he's always like, it's not like surely there's not another one. Pulls out the knife. QX3 trades it. Heretics onto 11 now. Ballista again set up for this a long drift.
Oh, Omen's a little further ahead. Okay, that was Batty G just up to the fight apparently. And to be fair, QXV was completely isolated. Omen completely cut him out of that fight, I'm pretty sure. But now they're still holding on to this. The crossfire's still in play. They hadn't seen Morphan down in sewers yet, and QXV gets a freebie. Doesn't quite land it, a bit of damage, but Morphan goes forward. He progresses on the fight here.
TP to safety. Nuki, last man standing for Heretics, does have the spike in hand. This alarm bot to pick him up, though. He goes. So, information revealed. QX3 going to push all the way through lobby. I think Nuki might have just heard sound cue on that. Morphan going to pick up a heal all the way over in spawn. Again, has to deal with a little more utility once again, and Karemi will finally swing onto that. Again, it's the A setup this time around. Heretics push a little further forwards inside, but Addy, the playmaker, once again.
I almost want to give a little bit of credit there as well to Morphan. Just, as I said, finally showing the hand of playing through sewer just works out so well, because they've been so used to at least noting the presence towards long, but then him being that, like, additional factor, it's another angle to clear, which is incredibly difficult. You're always going to be at a slight disadvantage. You have so many angles to clear. Ultimate popped quickly. Nuki is on the run, but he doesn't check his corners. Morphan, right place, right time. And now once more, he's going to get more too. Keep in mind, this buy was a little bit here and there. Rubino's got a rifle. The rest are a little bit scrappy, but it's been manhandled.
Yeah, Rubino 20 HP, just gonna wait for something to come to him. Flash comes through, and again, it's stack up. QXV and Batty G gonna sweep through. That spike down. Pora, last man, Molly, perfectly timed, comes through, anticipating exactly where Pora's going to be lurking. Lister read the setup now.
You can see there is a gun around. Yeah, the spike. Pora still takes down QXV and Bald. And now a 1v2. No. Oh, he's invested the odds. There's 2 bullets left in the mag. He's going to have to hit that reload. He knows there's now a player close. He knows Batty G is close by, and Batty G will push. Time to adjust. Get over towards C, but the cross could be a problem. Let's see if the angle is already held. Batty G is there. It's a deeper angle, so you can't clear it easily. But he gets the spray, but now the 1v1. Killjoy slipped towards the site, though. Did Pora note this? I don't think he knows he is. He doesn't know he's there. And oh, Kareme just holding on to this round. You could see that spiraling there.
Good, but again, though, just no repeat from Karemi. Batty G, he's got the cross. As soon as that information comes through, Karemi's in position to swing onto that. So, again, just a little bit loose on the setup there.
I'm amazed he wins this fight when QXV should have seen that gun just like get hoovered away somewhere.
Yeah.
But Pora just takes the fight and wings it. And bear in mind the adjustment off the back. Okay. Jet back on the op. Here we go. Jet mains around the world, holding their breath here, going, come on, dude. Make it work. Make us look good here. And it's the first time... Batty G, I mean, there's being bold and there's just walking straight mid. Now, there we go. QXV does connect towards Nuki, but will lose out on that peek towards middle now unless he re-clears it. Morphan gets checked on this time. Heretics are starting to really go through the motions here. They're not letting them get away with the same sort of scenario, but Bald's taken so much space. Look how trapped in he is.
They popped the Seekers there, so all this information should have gone across. I'm not sure why. Why
is Killjoy still...
Yeah. Not sure if it was dealt with so early that they don't want to read too heavily into where those Seekers went, but... Both actually going to pop the TP behind Platt. This is open for the taking. Yeah, it deals with Bold at the end of long as well.
a really good TP considering they knew roughly where Bolt
Yeah.
was after the sprays. The TP there gives him a favorable fight. Otherwise, that cross through garage would have been so disastrous, deadly. Now, popping the ult here, QXV, we're feeling a little, not necessarily silly, but it's feeling kind of bad because you got to back away from this now. There is no doubling down. You've got a lot of guns and weaponry to take through to that next round, and this has been won out by some really good play. I've got to give credit there to Avova for this one.
Yeah, for sure. It's actually a perfect read on it. I'm gonna save these weapons across. I mean, it'd be difficult. We could take a quick look at the economy coming back into this, but I'm gonna put Heretics on map and series point. QX3's again ultimate not available. Morphan has his. Remy also has the lockdown, which I'm fairly confident he's had since
Match point.
what, the 4th round of this
Yeah.
half.
I've not seen them utilize that by any means. I guess it's one of the kind of, I'd say downsides. I guess it's hard to implement when your team's aggressive to a degree. Obviously he's not necessarily the most aggressive player there, but it gets trickier to be in the right place for it if they've already pushed up and died, for example. It gets a little tougher to make that kind of come through. But again, if you're not using your ults, it's just going to waste. But now though, 12 rounds to Heretics to the 10 of Ballista, and you can see QXV deciding he wants to be the game changer now. New look, last time it was Morphan here with a rifle, definitely noted a player. And he can post up on this angle. They don't need to keep these players dedicated to this if they have full faith, but the drone going to come through. Notes him, has to back away now. Very well done. Good mentality of clearing this one out. Now that will be a re-aggress, it looks like, coming through, but you can already see the lean in that work towards middle.
Now it's still 3 players invested on A. And again, with QX3 holding that angle, it's unnecessary. There's such a gap elsewhere on the map, and I guess this is Ballista just wanting to opt for that retake on either C or B.
Bomb grenade out.
I guess it gives them a fast flank, but they're not utilizing that. They're going to peel back away around towards Connector. Spike is surely going to cross pretty soon. Kareme going to try and pop down one of the mollies in towards this one. Maybe try and keep some information going. Spike is currently loose. They've actually not opted for this yet. They've got 35 seconds. They want to secure some of these avenues of approach. This is probably a good idea, but finally Killjoy gets to come in on the map. Uh-oh! That's scary times. Suddenly, Ballista comes online with 3 quick kills, and Heretics have lost all that side progression that they once had. Nuki tries to fight back in with a wild spray to the second, doesn't get it, but there's a retake coming through. Finally, we said we were waiting to see Kareme use that ult. Good timing.
Will prevent that push, and actually looking at it now, I was talking about economy previously, it's Lowell who's going to be looking bare, to say the least. 2200. Have to come into this. It looks like he's actually going to opt for the Ghost and full utility, full armor. 11-12 now. This is for Ballista to keep the map going. Force overtime. Nothing on the board in terms of ultimates for either team here. Nuki actually the closest, alongside Baddy G. Well, it goes without saying, Baddy G's always close to his ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems to never be away from him. Does he just get a free start now? I like what they've done here. They've pushed Jet up a little bit aggressively towards C long. Gonna leave the op towards that. Just leave him there, and now they can stack out towards A. Yes, it's a gamble towards B, but in a buy round, it feels unlikely you'd go to it, especially between OT and going to the full way in this. Nuki has found Baddy G, but it's a 2-for-1 trade out, but Heretics have yet to progress towards the side because there's a stack here, keep in mind. You've still got Morphan around. You still have that Killjoy up as well towards Hell, and now you've got Sky coming on over. Jet's finally leaning this way, but they have no information on the rest of the map, but neither do the Heretics. Now they've hit the brakes and allowed Nuki to work, and he's found one. Sky's now dead. The ultimate just goes by. Doesn't quite find the target, but Morphan to readjust here. Should have this all under control, unless Pora does something unthinkable. A 1v3. 40 seconds is a lot of time to play with.
Wow, my eyes are down.
Camera's now down.
How many times?
What did he do?
How many times have we seen it though?
30
Who you got,
seconds
Bora?
left.
Still stacked on A, all 3 of them.
You kind of have to respect it. You've got numbers to play retake, but this gives him freedom. He doesn't know this. Pora doesn't know how much freedom he has to readjust it. If he can cross through this or get one on the way. No, okay, Pora's lost that chance. Jet now moves in, finds one. He knows Jet's on top and one's still over towards that kind of connector side. Pora can potentially win this unless they double face. Oh, he gambles it and Kareme just finds the right place. It looks like OT is on the cards.
Good stuff from Ballista there, and actually staying as a pack. QX3 coming in, and actually, you know, that's what we wanted to see from QX3 on attack. To be honest, it's the first real, I guess, on screen at least, where we've seen him create some space in that retake. Been kind of on the shoulders of Bold and Batty G, but Ballista will tie it up. Round switch comes through, or at least the team switch comes through, obviously. A little bit of a mental reset here. Ballista, they can continue that success they found to the back end of their attacking half here.
Hey.
Heretics. It again, we've seen a half that looked like they had this kind of sorted. Off the back, a little bit of Nuki's heavy performance. It was an over performance, but it was a good one. But look at Avova finding so much room. Avova's been really solid as well. I don't want to take him away from this at all. He isn't necessarily, you know, getting all the kills, but the kills he gets are the ones that potentially get you around. And now he's got a free pick at the start. Backed away. They have to now re-clear this using all the utility that maybe they wanted for that site hit. So again, this is really nice work from Avova.
The other thing is, he finds these kills and it's more often than not going unpunished. He's getting that man advantage. And it's untraded. He's always escaping. So he's going to try and walk this smoke, but Bold, ready for it. The pop with the flash as well, but the slow is perfect. Rubino and Lowell find kills. Nuki as well in mid. Last man standing, Kareme. Ballista here does have the spike in hand, but a 1v4 is a tall order.
Extremely well positioned. Nuki catching that B flank as well. He was sat on that left tucked corner, perfectly waiting for anyone to come walking through. I'm pretty sure he even would have seen Omen just trying to put any bit of work down, and Nuki now can just wait. Again, these favorable angles. He is just playing a good game right now. Nuki putting on a show, and the first one does go cleanly to Heretics here in OT.
Match point.
That's Nuki's 30th.
Not bad.
And a blinding game, a fantastic map one, and continuing through. I said it, you know, somebody was going to have to be that same role that Nisal was previously. Fight fire with fire. Really put up a fight against the Ballista aggression. He's absolutely delivered.
(13-12). It's do or die for Ballista. There is the lower run. This is the group stage, but you don't want to be staring down at this already. A close game, but it just slipping through the fingertips. But maybe there's still a chance. A similar look coming out from the attacking side now, of course, of Heretics. 2 in a row gets you the win in OT. Easiest way to explain it without any nonsense. 1-1, we go again until it's done. Bold does take that C-long space, but he's getting a fight for that, and I like that. Still showing presence, so they can't overly rotate or stack, and even that little drive-by headshot is going to add to matters. Now Heretics have taken a lot of room towards A. The site looking clear. They don't have to expend all of their utility. They can just put down, you know, the standardized smokes. Keep a little for that post plant, because you know this retake is going to have a lot of legs to it.
Once again, though, nobody contesting this. It's going to give Heretics free reign to set up as they wish. Look how long Lowell holds onto the wall there. Actually, it manages to reinforce behind the smoke. So, again, more time. A triple flank coming through from Ballista. He finds the first, but Batty trades.
It's a little scary post plant. Considering they've got players stuck towards sewer and then stuck towards a kind of corner on site, this can get a little bit disastrous, and Batty G's making light work of it. Spotted out the Cypher, but Pora does well. Finds Morphan, and there's Lowell holding on. This looks like it's all but done for. Heretics lock it down in OT. 14-12 being the final scoreline. They're the first ones to claim victory.